Good morning, guys. It is currently 8:16 a.m. and I think it's the 64th day I'm doing this. I'll have to check. I want to start this by saying I woke up at like 3:30 this morning. But I was like, what can I do? So I watched I signed up for this free 5-day training for, I call it ADHD friendly, which means like you don't have to have it, but it can't hurt, and I resonate with all those things. And I watched both, like the first 2 days of that, and then I don't know what order, it doesn't really matter, but the facts are, I last night, I think I actually turned on one of those last night. It's a good thing to fall asleep to, not, but and then I I honestly don't remember if I fell back asleep, but I think I said use a tool. And that's really exciting because, you know, there's this dichotomy in my brain of wanting structure, craving structure, needing structure, and rebelling against the structure, you know? So it really is finding that Goldilocks, like that sweet spot of like not rigidity, but structure. So, one workaround I came up with that's working is instead of saying, I'm going to do this meditation every day, I'm like, pick a tool, use a tool. If you use a tool, you win. And that's really cool for me because I'm realizing that's actually working. Because instead of like, wait, did I say I was going to tap? Did I say I was going to, because like I said, the two sides of my brain, one is like perfectionistic, ritualistic, rigid, and the other one's like, you don't tell me what to do, to the other part of the brain. And attending that free thing, it's just so damn validating more than anything. It's like, yeah. And that's why, like, I feel like a racehorse that's being restrained. But the problem is that the whole time I'm being restrained, it's not like the energy feels like it gets stored and then it can be used later. It feels like the energy still just drains. So then when it's like, oh, now do the thing, it's like, well, now I can't. Because now I'm tired, even though I didn't do anything, but I am actually tired, So it is just so cool. The more that I'm really, doing what's within my control to really embrace how my brain actually, thrives. So, anyway, so I did those two things. The facts are, I watched both of those, and I also did a tool, which I did breath work. That's what I did, but not the kind of heavy, but like a daily thing. And I noticed that when I did the breath work, I felt a difference. So then I was like, okay, so remember, this is the difference between high cortisol and stressed and like how you actually want to be. This is what we want our new baseline to be. So it ended up being a rep of like, this is how we want to feel. Then I did a quick meditation, and I think the meditation sunk in because I had done the breath work, right? And then I did like some tapping, and I came up with some ideas, which I'm really excited about. So, one of the things is my 30 or 30 for 30. I think I'll be on day 7 when I do it. And one of the things I want to do, I have chills, is I want to. I was literally just brainstorming. That's how it really feels. And I was like, yes, at like 5 in the morning. And I was like, you know, I want to make one of the bookcases just for paper. And then it was like, part of me was like, no, I don't. So I have these three drawer things, and they're clear. And so what I'm gonna do is that gives me 6 categories for papers, which helps that part of my brain that wants it to be, whatever. However, until I figure out those 6 categories, I can still move the papers into those containers, right? And they will be, what do we want to call them? rudimentarily organized. And that is exciting because then instead of seeing the papers all the time and having to process that the paper's there all the time, I can be like, the papers that are in this one, like I thought of, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just, because I've got papers from like things I've done that I want to keep. But the idea of organizing the papers right now before my daughter leaves, it's just like, it's almost invisible work. Like it'd be so mentally taxing, even emotionally taxing, and for what, you know? I can do that this summer is my point. But I can park the papers for now, and then the ones, and then it was like my brain's like, yeah, but like I was really letting the, not voices, but I was letting the thoughts come so that I could address them, you know? And it was like, what if there's something you have to have action? Like, how are you going to stand, like, how is that going to stand out? And I came up with an idea. I'm going to tape it to my closet door because I don't like stuff. I don't like stuff in my face like that. So that's going to be like a thing, thing, thing. You need to, you know, but instead of having it like in a file where it's like out of sight, out of mind, or having it with 100 other papers so my brain thinks there's 100 things, you know, it's really going to be, and I think it's going to be so satisfying to be like, okay, I dealt with that thing. I can take it off the closet door and put it where it belongs, you know? And it's going to soothe because anytime it's like that thing of like, is the door locked? I take a picture. I haven't had to do it in a while, but I will do that. That's another tip. Take a picture after you lock the door of the locked door. So then from your bed, you can just check the picture just to remind your brain, yeah, it's fine, instead of keep going up and down the stairs, like as you're building trust with your brain and, you know, your memory. So what was I saying? Oh, so then if the brain's like, oh my gosh, we have to, it's like, no, it's not on the, there's nothing on the closet doors. There is nothing that's actually whatever urgent. And so that's exciting. And I think I said I finished that book that I was reading. So I'm like, I've gotten a lot done. That's my point. And I just think that's going to be, because I realize I think for the bookcases, I want them to be soothing, you know, and like happy. And I think I completely underestimate, because I was kind of forced to before, but now I'm not forced to, but I underestimated the impact that that has on me and my mood and my well-being. Is like, yes, I don't want to be in a cluttered space, but I also don't want to be in like a cold space. Like I want to be in a happy space, you know? And part of me is like, doesn't everyone? But no, not everyone does. They don't care. It doesn't affect them. But the facts are, it affects me greatly. I want it to be comforting, you know? And so I'm just really excited about this because, and then I'm like, okay, what are you going to do though with the stuff that's currently in those drawers? Well, that is stuff that I moved that's like bathroom, like toiletry stuff. And I'm just telling myself for now, go through them because you have to take them out anyway in order to put the papers in there. But unless it's something that's obvious to throw away, don't worry about it. Just transfer it, you know? And I know this flies in the face of like a lot of traditional organizing, but that's what the webinar was about too, is like that's made for people, that's made for, you know, like I said, it might not even be different types of people, but they have different levels of support, you know? So for me, I've really got to, if anything, be even more insistent on things that help me do it, that don't, you know, obviously don't hurt anybody else or whatever, and they're imperceptible to other people and they bring me great joy. So I'm just so excited, and I've been working on my puzzle, and I'll talk about that in the next video because this one's getting long. But yeah, anyway, I'm really proud of myself because I just keep not literally continually moving forward, but I keep trying and I haven't given up. I haven't been like, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It does matter, and it affects everything. So, you know, I'm excited. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.